It's Margarita, and we are taking a special trip to Nepal, through our senses that is, with Lillipur by Tiziana Terenzi. Today's video was sponsored by Royalty Scents. Now, for those of you who don't know about Royalty Scents, it is a wonderful monthly perfume subscription service, and it's only $19.95 a month. That's right, you can try lovely, luxurious fragrances, oftentimes hard to find and lesser known fragrances for a fraction of the cost. So what happens is you get your package here. It's about 8 mil, sometimes 8 to 10 mil. You get between 120 and 140 sprays. On the label, you have the fragrance name, Royalty Scents the brand, and where it's shipped to, Chicago. That's where I am. It's also got instructions on how to use the packaging. So when you open it up, beautifully colored Atomizers. Now they come in different colors. This particular one for Lillipur that I've gotten from them is in a gold one. Twist it and you're ready to go. And they're also refillable. I'm not going to take it apart here, but you can refill it with something else once you're done. But this is a good month's worth of fragrance for someone, especially if you're not a heavy sprayer. For me, it'll probably last about 2 weeks, but that's neither here nor there. But Royalty Scents, I cannot stress enough how wonderful the service is, because if you are like me and like to try different fragrances frequently and don't want to commit to a full bottle because you're growing your collection or you just get bored easily, this is definitely the way to go. It's affordable. They ship very fast, and you have such a selection of fragrances that you cannot get bored, and they're always adding new things to the collection. So without further ado, let's get into the first scent that I got from Royalty Scents, Lillipur by Tiziana Terenzi. Now, I was pleasantly surprised to find Lillipur on Royalty Scents because I was not familiar with that scent particularly. I'm very familiar with the house of Tiziana Terenzi, and I love the house. It's one of my favorite houses, actually. I've done reviews on some of their fragrances, such as Arethusa, which is another one that is not commonly spoken about, but very beautiful. But Lillipur just blew me away. So this scent was inspired by Paolo Terenzi, the perfumer, his trip to Nepal. And I'm going to read from a note from the brand. The stop of the journey was Nepal, in search of a more intimate and solitary spirituality in an ancient capital renowned for its marvelous, mystical higher state of being, a country where history, civilization, and myths intertwine. Nepal places the traveler in cosmic time, perfect for exploring the soul and discovering one's innermost self. Now, this fragrance here is just absolutely amazing. I didn't really know what to expect because it is something I would say from a fragrance family that I don't normally lean toward. Majority of my collection is gourmand, or things that smell edible, like cookies and cakes and heavy vanilla. But the notes here are wormwood, star anise, olibanum, lemon, Ceylon cinnamon, Sichuan pepper, thyme, galbanum, carnation, cyclamen, cashmere wood, amber, atlas cedar, benzoin, tonka bean, tobacco, birch, patchouli, and white musk. So just hearing this concoction of notes, this combination of notes, it sounds like a beautiful disaster, quite frankly, just by reading the notes. But the way that these are blended, it is the most beautiful love story of a fragrance on skin. I tried this out and I was floored. This is probably my favorite Tiziana Terenzi fragrance that I've smelled from the collection, and that says a lot because they have so many. Lillipur is nothing like it sounds. It's not as busy of a scent, not as spicy of a scent as the notes would lend one to believe. This is just such a great blend. I wore this out dancing because I like to test the longevity, and it was just wonderful. Now, one of the notes is one of my favorites, star anise. If you are familiar with Vanilla and Anise by Jo Malone, it's a beautiful fragrance. This does not smell like that, but you can pick it up. Usually anise is what gives licorice its flavor. So if you like licorice, or can at least relate to the scent of licorice, that's the note anise that you're smelling or tasting, most likely. This is very aromatic. You know, you've got patchouli, which is a mint family thing. It's in the base. Patchouli is a scent that I do not like typically, but it's not dominant, so I can deal with it. Oh my God, I have to spray it now because it's just, I want to remind myself. But I wore this out dancing, and I just remember getting wonderful wafts every time I moved my hands. This is a tasty, spicy, oh my goodness, ethereal scent. This is for someone who wants to smell like money. This fragrance smells expensive. You don't get a strong alcoholic opening. Like, I can actually start detecting notes at the onset of the spray. If you can see that, it's like a straight concentration because the oil concentration is very high in this. So you're going to get very good quality. And usually when there's a high oil content in fragrances, you get a lot of longevity, even if it'll sit close to the skin. Usually the higher the concentration and the less alcohol, you don't get as great projection, but you will get some longevity to it. And instantly I'm getting some peppery notes, but they're not like a gross pepper. It's just lends a little bit of spice. The cinnamon is dominant, and you get the anise. Those are the three notes I'm picking up the most. Vanilla is not a listed note, but this does lean somewhat gourmand, maybe because of the cinnamon and the patchouli and the anise notes. But this just sits so well. This is wonderful evening, date night, after 5 fragrance. I do not recommend wearing this to work. It's not a daytime fragrance in my opinion, but if you are going out and don't want to have to reapply your fragrance throughout the evening, this is a wonderful safe bet. If I had to compare it to something, it's very similar to, not identical, but put you in the mindset of Invite Only Amber 23 by Kayali, similar to Gris Charnel by BDK. This one came out before those two did, so this one would be the OG. Definitely not a copy because it came out before those, and this is also the better execution of the 3. But let me know what you think. Have you smelled Lillipur by Tiziana Terenzi? And also, have you used Royalty Scents subscription service? This is my first experience with them. I'd heard of them, but just recently, got to have a first-hand experience, and I am very pleased. I love the presentation. I love the selection of scents. I love how fast they ship, and I just love the value. The fragrances they have are very expensive. These are $300, $400, $500 fragrances that they have, and you get to try a month's supply for less than $20. You can't beat that. So visit their site, www.royaltyscents.com, and check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We talk about lovely fragrances and some that are not so lovely, and also other things that, you just may want to find out about that smell great, and things that may not necessarily smell great. But either way, I am Margarita, and until next time, you have an awesome day. Bye.